Mr. Campbell, I thought you was gonna have Jesse behind you tonight, Coach.
Well, I'm gonna do something with Jesse, but we had Coach on, so I have the legendary C. Vivian Stringer behind me, the godmother of HBCU black coaches. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna see if Coach, gee, I wish she definitely knows who the great C. Vivian Stringer is. But we're gonna talk about it, because see, Rock, I'm gonna tell you a little history about Coach Stringer. And that ties all the way into Coach Thornton.
All right, we'll get it in here. Let's give them a few more, about another 30 seconds to get in here. They piling in right now. Want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to thank everybody for coming on to HBCU Coaches Corner. I'm Rocky, your host, along with my co-host, Mr. Stephen Campbell. Coach Cole is on his way. You know he's a busy man, and sometimes we're working off that West Coast time. He can't always be here with us, but he is definitely on his way for this show. He let me know that, hey, hold it down, and he'll be right on his way. Because we got a big show tonight, Coach. We got a big show tonight. We got a it's not very often, Coach, that you can say that you see legendary status in the middle of it, Coach, and you can not acknowledge it. You know, you have a coach that's coached at 2 different schools, has some success at 2 different schools, and to be honest with you, she kind of embodies what I've come to love and appreciate about HBCU sports. Coach, I'll ask you this because you are a HBCU historian. What's unfolding by this coach?
Wait a minute, say that one more time, Rock. I'm sorry.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me now?
No, I was coughing. I apologize.
No, I say what's unfolding with the coach we have on who has been at 2 schools. What would you say about her tenure so far as a head coach in HBCU football, HBCU basketball, and what kind of run is it, or have you seen something like this before?
Well, this is the thing, and we're going to talk about, like I say again, for the youngsters, we want y'all to do a history. I want you to go Google the great C. Vivian Stringer, and we're going to talk about that because Coach Dawn Thornton embodies that, and Coach Stringer, who had went on and coached at 3 different universities and took 3 different schools to the Final Four. Dawn Thornton is walking into those legendary, as they say, high heels, you know. And Rocky, what I'll say is, for somebody that, again, women's basketball has grown so much. These coaches, again, like Coach Thornton, has been part of that movement. And what I like the most, because and Rocky, you know, I am a huge women's basketball fan. I go way back before they even had the tournament. And it started in 1982 when the NCAA tournament, in which, again, historically, Cheney, coached by C. Vivian Stringer, played Louisiana Tech. Guess who played on that team, Rocky? Kim Monkey.
Kim Monkey, somebody I'm very familiar with. Yes.
There you go. So to see the growth of somebody that started at HBCU and this go 40 years later, to see Coach Dawn Thornton, man, it is nothing but an honor, and it's nothing but for these young, beautiful Black women, they have somebody to look up to. And that's one of the things I'm excited to talk about, is the role model that she is at 2 different programs and nationally, because I a couple of things I'm going to pull up, because like I say, this coach here is internationally known and locally loved, right, by some of the things how she moves. So that's what we got.
Well, with no further ado, I will bring up the current leader in women's basketball, and is currently on a 12-game winning streak. They would be undefeated had they not lost their first conference game this year to Mississippi Valley. But since then, they have won every game since then, none other than the Alabama A&M women's head basketball coach, Dawn Thornton.
What's up? How y'all feeling?
Good. That's Coach, hey, you on a 12-game winning streak, Coach. And if something happen, you got a rattler on here with you, Coach. So if something happens tomorrow night, don't blame it on me. It's definitely him is the reason why something happened. But hey, Coach, I don't think you got much to worry about considering how your team's been playing. But with that being said, Coach, how are you doing? And how's everything going with the Alabama A&M women's basketball program?
Everything has been really, really, really great. Thank you all for having me. Let me say that. Taking the time out and want to spend some time with me on this Monday evening. So I appreciate that. Thank y'all. But the team is really good. Really trying to continue to keep everybody locked in. Keeping the main thing, focusing on how we're going to win a championship this year. I have a lot of kids that have been really with me for a long time, and then we brought some great pieces together back here with us. So, we're really excited about where this program is headed.
Yeah, Coach, I want to talk a little bit about this winning streak because you started the season off losing to Mississippi Valley. And I'm not saying that to troll you, but I'm just saying it was a surprising upset. When it was very surprising. You lost in a very close game. But since then, you guys have been lights out. Is that loss something you guys needed, or was it a wake-up call? How do you explain that? And then how did that factor into what's happened after that?
Well, I honestly tell anybody I'm gonna take the loss as a head coach versus Valley. We played a certain type of ball defensively in the preseason, and we didn't play a game after the Christmas break. Everybody plays the 26, 27, 28, 29th before conference. And so I decided to rest them and teach a new defense during that period of a time to give us more time to learn. And we just weren't there. And so we just went back to the drawing board, my staff and I, and we switched some things up completely within 24 hours, real quick. And everything just started to click from there. So that's the honest truth. I'm glad that we lost to Valley the first game of the conference. So we understand exactly what we have to do in order to continue to stay on the winning side.
Now, coming into this season, Coach Thornton, did you think you guys would be as dominant in the SWAC as you have been?
Absolutely. I definitely can say that. You said I was at 2 previous schools, but actually it was 3 because I was also at
Prairie View.
I forget you at Prairie View. Yes.
And so we finished at the top of the conference everywhere that I've gone, and I've been fortunate enough, thankful enough, blessed enough, favored enough to be able to do that and take all 3 programs to a championship game. And so right now for Alabama A&M, that's my ultimate goal, to get us to that championship game and come out with the victory.
As you mentioned, Prairie View, they having a tough season with their first year head coach. I don't know who was there when the decision was made, but I'm sure that was a bad decision to if they let you go. Now, if you took a promotion or went on to greener pastures, but who would want to leave Texas? That's what I would say. Mr. Campbell, you got anything? I got a few more questions, but I want to let you get in here as well.
No, Rocky, go ahead, because when me and Coach get going, go ahead. What you got?
Let me also say this, Coach Thornton. You say you coached at Prairie View. Was that very early in your coaching career? Obviously, it was before now, but was that your first head coaching job?
It was my first head coaching job, yes. But I was at Prairie View for 6 years total. 3 as an assistant and 3 as a head coach, but that was my second job. My first coaching job was at Tougaloo College. Okay.
And so you learned. I'm sure you learned a lot at Prairie View. You moved on and went to. I first got noticed your talent at Arkansas Pine Bluff, and then we got a chance, of course, to interview you last year. When you first got the job at Alabama A&M, you had a plan. You were very hopeful that you could turn the program around. Has your plan worked exactly like you thought it would when you took this job a couple years ago?
Alabama A&M is a gold mine, and I think a lot of people knew with our athletic director and our president and just the support around athletics. I think everybody knew that was a job on the men's side, the women's side, from football to baseball to softball. I think the word is getting out that Alabama A&M is really operating like a mid-major, university. And so just having those resources, having that type of support, and I was more so attracted to administration. I tell people all the time, I was in a good position at Pine Bluff, but I wanted something new for my career. I wanted to be under somebody that was forward thinking, and those who could think that you could do the impossible and actually support you while you're on that journey to do that. That was very attractive to me when this job came open. So I could see with the resources, knowing Dr. Bryan and how competitive he is, he was going to do everything in his power to make sure that we had the things that we need to be successful. So now I would hope that was the mindset for sure.
Now, Coach, now now when you were at Arkansas Pine Bluff, I must admit I didn't notice the impeccable style that you have. Well, that was I was just watching the ball. But Coach, to be honest with you, you're a social media darling because of the way that you put it on for game day and the way. And I think what's really neat is your players embrace the fact that they do have a fashionable coach. Coach, let me just ask you this: where did that style come from? And did you add to it at each stop and it's blossomed now, or it's just people are just now noticing?
I think that to start there is yes. I was like this at Prairie View. Even let me tell you, we won a championship in 2014, SWAC championship in 2014. And I changed clothes from the game to when it was time to cut down the net. I brought an outfit just to cut down the net. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. But the truth is, behind that story is, I was bullied growing up. I was never comfortable being in my skin. I was never comfortable of who I was as a girl, as a young woman, going into womanhood. And I told myself, I'm having conversations with these parents and everybody, and as I'm recruiting young women, and I'm saying to them, like, I want your daughter to be strong and be confident and be all of these things, right? And so for me as a head coach, how can I sit in someone's living room, in someone's kitchen, at the dinner table to tell them that I want their daughter to be their unapologetic self, and and them being this confident individual? And at the end of the day, for me, I'm just putting myself in a box because I'm so afraid of what people are going to say. I'm so afraid of, doing too much when this is really just me. Because honestly, when I started coaching, I had an administrator come up to me to tell me that I don't want to see any of your tattoos out. You need to wear long pants and, and you just need to make sure you're covered up. But I don't have those type of athletes. You know what I'm saying? I got kids that really want to express themselves and be themselves. And they have a head coach that wants to be that way as well. So I just embraced it. And hey, I'm the diva coach now, right? I guess.
Hey, Coach, I knew Coach Cole wasn't going to miss this one. Ain't no way he was going to not make this one. Coach, you definitely are the diva coach. I mean, excuse me, the diva coach. But we got a coach that's coming on right now, and he also takes pride in being stylish. And hold on, let me get Coach that went dark on me. And Coach, I've had long talks with Coach Cole about this, about how it's important, how important appearance is as a coach, and not only what it represents to the public, but it also represents to the team. Now, I'll ask you this: when you're, do you concern yourself with being old? Because Coach Cole mentioned to me that because he was, let's just use the term fly, right? He was often mischaracterized as not being a serious competitor, because he may have been paying too much attention to his fit and not enough attention to his game. But he always let his results speak. And he was, of course, he was a championships coach. Is that how you kind of carry it too? I'm
sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody has an opinion of what they think you should or you shouldn't do. But I think for me as a Black woman, I grew up watching Lafayette Stribling, the the head men's basketball coach at Mississippi Valley, who have on a red suit with red gaiters and walk out with a Kango red Kentucky Derby hat. So if Lafayette Stribling could walk on to a court with something like that on, what was the coach name at was it at Grant, Eddie Robinson? You know, no, the football coach at Bethune. What was his name at Bethune?
Wyatt Shine. Wyatt.
Yeah,
Coach Wyatt.
If they could walk around back then like that as black men, somebody got to tell me why I can't do it as a black female. I mean, it's proportionate, it's respectful. You know, it may be a little fashionable, it may be a little bit too much, but you know what? She too much. That's just who I am. I'm too much. So that's just me.
Hey, Coach, I know you're a big fan of Coach Thornton. Can you respond now, Coach? Because I told the coach how you struggle with people taking you serious and how you important. Now, Coach told me the reason why he paid so much attention to what he had on, because when he grew up, he had one pair of shoes and one pair of pants. He gave me this story, right? So,
That's right. That's right.
Can you identify with some of what Coach Thornton is saying as far as, you know, a style is expressing who she is as a person and also overcoming some of the challenges that she had as a young girl?
Well, firstly, I want to say I apologize to you because we should have been had you on. And, you know, I know you get in your season and you guys get out. You know, you always have been a guest on my show. And, you know, I appreciate all the great things you have done. Now, I don't know. Have she told you guys where she actually really learned it from? A coach named Denise Taylor, Texas Southern graduate, was one of the first women that took a head job in the WNBA. Her name was Denise Taylor. And Miss Thornton just took it to another level. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, she understands the thing when you look good, you dress good, you get paid good. You know, so she understands that model, man. And she's swag, Coach. You know, that's how we do it in swag, man. It's just, you know, when you see coaches like Coach Walker from Alcorn, and, man, I've seen them on the sideline kick her feet up and the high heels go up in the air. You know, so, you know, it's rich in tradition. As she said about Eddie Robinson, I mean, he coached with a tie on the sideline, and those great guys, Coach Merritt from Tennessee State, he coached in a coat jacket, man. So it's that tradition that we have, and the thing about it too is, and she'll agree with me on this. We already going in with, well, they got holes in their shirt or holes in their uniforms, and they look like they gonna look like this and look like that, you know. So we as SWAC coaches and representatives, man, we want our players to look good. We want our coaching staff to look good. I hate when I look on the sideline and I see our African-American coaches dressing like, you know, the coach over there used to be at the New England Patriots, man.
Belichick.
You know, Belichick, man, we used to be sharp, man. But we had those people in front of us to mark and advertise ourselves, man. And, man, I mean, I can't say enough about Dawn Thornton now. She the real deal. I'm surprised you ain't got an NIL.
You know, I'm working on that. Anybody watching, y'all come hit your girl up. I'm working on that. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah. So, man, I'm so glad you are on the show tonight, man. And I know we ain't going to keep you in our league too much longer because, boy, y'all doing it on the women's side. Y'all doing it. Y'all coming in and making it happen, man, and getting on out of there. You know, no more can you just stay one place. And, you know, I'm looking forward to you, you know, one day. I know you're at A&M. I know, you know, that's my homeboy over there, your boss. You know,
okay.
We're from the same place. You make sure you tell him to take care of you. You know what I mean?
I'll do that. I'll make sure.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, you don't have to worry about her. She was at Prairie View, and that was a surprise to me that she was at Prairie View. And she also said something about cutting down the nets at Prairie View. So that means she won something. So, and then I'm very familiar with what she did at Arkansas Pine Bluff, Coach. And now when she came on here 2 years ago, she didn't sweat at all. So, Coach, she's one of those coaches you like. She's a winner, Coach.
Ain't no question.
Right?
Ain't no question, you know.
But with also being a winner, Coach, she is a social media phenomenon, Coach. And what I want to ask her is have people just picked that up, or is that something done strategically by your marketing team? Where is that? Where is that coming from? Like, how did you get that kind of traction?
Honestly, I don't have a marketing team. I just got the favor of God on my life right now. I think that I have accepted and have embraced what it feels like to just be in your season, right? And when you keep the main thing, and stay focused on your assignment, and those who know my story know how much pain that, you know, I've had and I've endured as a basketball coach, you know, losing everything. So, you know, what you all see now, this is the rebuild. Like, you know,
2.0.
I've done this, literally as humbly as I am possibly speaking. The last championship that was won on the women's basketball side at Prairie View was mine. And I had 4.
Okay, Coach. Talking.
Yeah, I had 4 there. And so just separating from there to where I am right now, I've been this woman jail where I've really just tried to just blossom and just trust God and understand my calling. And I think that now being in a position to where you can be on a stage to be seen, you know, it's women in sports are evolving every day. And so now it's like, okay, well, who is this woman? And she is kind of dope, and she looks just like me, and she's doing it so differently. So I think it's just been one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And it's just a thing. Social media is just a thing now. And so because it is a thing now, we're just going to ride the wave, right? That's the best thing to do.
Well, I tell you what, you guys hired a guy that's real good friends to us too, that really kind of started this phenomenon of this HBCU deal. You know, even though, you know, sometimes he was controversial, y'all got Scotty over there now. You need to be sitting up in his damn office and putting something together, because, you know, he got over 28,000 followers probably, and I think it's your time. You know, it's your time. You know, ain't no question. It's your time, and I look for you to do bigger things. You know, if it's still at A&M or if it's somewhere else. You know, I'm just so happy about, you know, your accomplishments. I mean, you called it way back when we first talked. You know, when you were still digging the ditch. You know, now you up on the highway driving in the Benz or something now. You know, but I wish you well. You know, you're doing a great job.
Coach Cole,
go ahead.
Let me ask you this here, Coach Cole. I didn't mean to step in here because there's a theme here that Coach Cole always brings up, Coach Thornton, is that how HBCUs seem to somehow, some way, get rid of their championship coaches. Like, that intrigues. Again, I don't mean, this is not, it just intrigues me of how it happens over and over and over again at HBCUs, how they find a way to separate from their championship coaches. Coach Cole, it's not just a theme on the football side, huh? Is that?
You know, I don't think it's so much on the basketball side, but definitely, you know, football is the first sport of the year, and I really think our women basketball programs have gotten bigger, if not bigger than our men's basketball side. You know what I'm saying? Because our girls are actually now, the women coaches are actually going out and getting big time players. No more are they playing with the small team or the little girl over there across the street. See, they actually still in play. And girls are different than guys. You know, a girl will get tired of playing basketball and walk away. You know, a guy, you know, that usually don't happen. And then, you know, girls are more, and you can correct me, more emotional and more like to be attached to the coach. You know what I'm saying? And she does a fabulous job, how she carries herself, how she looks, you know, how she's trying to not only make you just a basketball player, but a lady once you walk off the court. And I think that's real important.
Well, I just find it peculiar. You know, I'm just coming into space in 2021, and to find out that this is a theme on the football side, and to find out, you know, through our conversation we're having today, that it also has been a thing on the women's basketball side of the championship coach the team somehow losing their championship coaches. Again, I don't know the circumstances of which you had to change, Dawn, but is there on the women's basketball side, is there a significant amount of turnover on that side as it is on maybe the football side, and even men's basketball? Since I've been in the sport, there's been several men basketball coaches turning over. You know,
I think that's a great question. But I mean, I've been in this conference for a very long time as a student athlete, playing at Jackson State University, coaching at Prairie View for 6 years, Arkansas Pine Bluff for 5. And then I'm in my second season at Alabama A&M. So I've seen the generations. I've seen the turnover of athletic directors. I've seen where, you know, kids are moving from the Gen X to this generation.
Gen Z or whatever.
I've seen it all, right? I've seen it. And I will honestly say it's definitely tough for us as Black women leaving this conference and being able to go obtain, you know, the next job. And I think at one point last year, I did the math, and in my span of 15 years, it was only 3 or 4 women who have left this conference to be able to have an opportunity to coach at the next level. And I think retaining coaches is something that I think we have to kind of get away from, right? If you want to just be completely honest, because retaining student athletes is something that you have to get away from now, because we're coaching kids from year to year. But sometimes, you know, programs make hires for coaches as stepping stones. Sometimes coaches make hires for people who are retiring and looking for their last job on the way out, you know, or coming back home, for whatever the circumstances are. I just think that when you have something good in-house, you support it, you ride the wave, you water it, you nurture it, and you watch it grow. And their job as the coach is to leave the house better than what it was when they got there. And as long as you continue to have somebody to buy in, to believe in that, your universities, our universities, all of them will flourish and they will grow. But I think that we just have to continue to embody that as an HBCU community in a whole.
Coach, let me jump in. Let's talk some basketball, because I think this is important, because for me, like I told you, I'm a big college basketball fan. You're from the state of Mississippi. A lot of people don't know the state of Mississippi is one of the greatest women's basketball producing players in the country. And I'm talking about 30, 40 years. Jennifer Gillum, Jackie Martin, Victoria Vivens, people like that. So I wanted to talk to you, because when I was coming up and watching girls basketball, you saw all these great players. Like I said, I'm talking about Jennifer Gillum and people like that, Janet Lawrence. And they had white male coaches, or they had white women coaches. And then you saw things starting to change as you were coming through high school and stuff like that. And as you can see, I have the great C. Vivian Stringer behind, who paved the road so you could walk. How important, as you seeing yourself, the Dawn Staley's, Nicole, Noelle Ivies, and people like that, Coach Ivy at Notre Dame, and things like that. Tamika Reed, of course, that was at Jackson State. How important has it been for just the young Black women that you coach to see themselves and what you could be? Because I'm curious about when you were at Callaway, and like you said, you played, did you ever think was coaching? Because, of course, they did have the WNBA, but was that something that, because now you start seeing Black women moving into high-level coaching, was that something that you were looking to do?
It's crazy that you said that. I knew that I was going to be a basketball coach my entire life. I didn't want to do anything else. Back when you were in elementary school, you used to draw. If you wanted to be a nurse, you might draw like a nurse or something. I used to draw a whistle. I knew that I wanted to be a coach. And when I got into the 7th grade and I really started playing basketball, I had a white woman as a coach. And I was like, she over here on the north side of Jackson, Mississippi, and dealing with all these kids coming out of Shady Oaks and all these different areas and stuff. And she in here just kind of handling us but we didn't have a relationship with her. We love the sport, we love the game, but she don't really look like us, right? So she don't really understand our struggles and what we're dealing with every single day, and what that feels like, you know. And I had a great coach, don't get me wrong, but I felt like in that moment I was like, I want to be able to be that same person, to young women, to young girls who are playing a sport and doing something that they love. I want to be an inspiration to them as well. And like I said, I just knew my whole entire life that I don't want to do anything else. I just told my best friend today, if I'm not coaching, I don't know what I don't have a backup. I don't have a backup.
So when you see people and names that I named, and again, they're a little bit older than you and things like that. And I heard Dawn Staley talk about how when she cut the nets down, she tried to send a piece of the net to as many Black female head coaches. That's why, were you able to get one of those?
I got my piece. It's right over there. I got
how
my
important is that when you see a Dawn Staley, and you, like I said, you guys are on the path to win 20 games, which, and again, and you know how this goes with the scheduling, that you got to take a lot of games because you got to pay the bills. But you're being dominant when you're talking about you're beating opponents by 18 to 20 points. How important is that when you're coaching and people respecting you as a Black woman coach, and that they don't have to go out? Because again, we don't know what your path may be. I hope you stay at Alabama A&M, but again, you know there are other people that are looking at you also and things like that. When you're talking to these young ladies, how important is that this bond that I see all the Black female coaches that you all have, and what you have to go through because you're in conferences that, like you say, that people unfortunately only see you guys as players, not as coaches?
You know, nobody loves those girls on my team outside of their parents more than me. When I invite our kids into my program, into my space, into my house, they know that I'm coming unguarded, full of love. I'm here to make all your dreams come true. Whatever it is that you want to do, you want to do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm crazy enough to push you for you to believe that you can do it. Let's just do it. Let's do it together. And that's something that I really and truly take pride in. I saw a post the other day, and somebody wrote, I would never hug my college coach. Like, you know, hugging and saying I love you is a real thing in my program. And kids and recruits are able to see that on social media. This isn't like a front. This is just who we are. Like, we're family, right? And so I just think that just being able to have some of the greats to pave the way for where I am right now. Of course, I'm familiar with C. Stringer. When she was when I was coaching at Tougaloo was when I first learned about her. When she was coaching at Cheney University. So it's been a lot of greats, and I never thought that I could fall into their shoes, but I'm building my own legacy, and I'm so blessed and so thankful to have an opportunity to do that at A&M.
Now, one of the things when you see, and again in the SWAC, and like you say, and Coach named some of the coaches, the SWAC, again, one of those underrated basketball conferences for female basketball, women's basketball. When you're seeing right now, what do you see was good with the conference, and what would you like to see more for us as alumni to support women's basketball? What would you like to see more of? Because what I've seen, again, I think, especially with your team, and we saw that with the Jack State team, you guys get the right seed, as you well know, especially the way the tournament is, and you guys get going, especially with the type of defense. There's an opportunity to win a game there and things like that.
Yeah, well, and I'm not gonna get on here to brag to tell you we number 29 in the nation defensively. And
no, I want you to brag. I want you to tell people because listen. I'm gonna come back because I am gonna do something about your social media. But we had to talk about your coaching. I want people to know that but I want people to hear about this coaching, this legend I'm talking about.
We number 29 in the nation defensively this week. Last week we was 37. 2 weeks before we was 52. So we're kind of holding opponents about 20, like between 15 and 20 points less than their average. So we're really excited about that. And our young individuals, they know that our goal is to be top 25 in the country. South Carolina, Dawn Staley is number 18. So we're trending in the right direction, and we're really excited about it. But one thing that I would like for my A&M family to do, I want to talk about my house first before I talk about somebody else's house, is that we really have to do a good job to rally behind what's good when it's good, right? You know, in growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, you live on the north side, you represent Callaway. If you on the west side, you represent Lanier or Provo, whatever, right? And so at the end of the day, if your team was playing, if everybody comes out, everybody shows love. So I think once we can kind of build that type of environment, that type of commitment from the communities, that's what's going to help our HBCUs. We be so in our feelings. The coach leave, oh, I ain't ever coming back. We had a losing season. Oh, I ain't buying season tickets no more. You can't win it every year. You know, you just can't. You want to. We really and truly want to. But sometimes it's just not designed for us to do so. But we got to still support those. And I mean, I'm sure, think about it. How many people are Laker fans or Dallas Cowboy fans?
Right.
They still rocking with the Cowboys. It don't matter. You know, that's still going to be my team.
You picked the right one.
Yeah, so we have to have that type of support behind our HBCU. So if our conference can do anything more, support each other. Support your own backyard.
Coach, let me ask you this, because one of the great questions, as you're coming up and now you're getting ready to get that torch passed to you guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys are the next wave and things like that. What young coach that you see assistant, and also who do you see on your team that you say, you know what, Mr. Campbell, as she graduates, she might sit me next to me in 10, 15 years. She's going to be a coach.
I had a kid last year, Jaya Harris Smith. I'm still begging her. Jaya, if you're watching, I know you're not watching, but Jaya, I want you to come coach with me. But also, right now, honestly, Kayla Walker, SWAC preseason player of the year. She's been with me for 5 or 6 years. And she just graduated with an engineering degree, and we're not going to be an engineer. We're going to be a basketball coach, because she is phenomenal and has been wonderful to me, to my program, but she's so passionate about basketball. And so I'm excited about trying to groom her, to push her to get outside of her comfort zone a little bit.
Now, wait a minute, you spoke it. Now, what was the young lady you named first? What was her name?
Jaya Harris Smith.
Okay, now tell us, why do you think, because you just made a resume call for, why is that young lady, because we got to track her down and get her together. But why? Because see, this is what I think, and I think this is so important when I'm talking about these beautiful, extremely talented Black head coaches. Why it's so important? Because these young women see themselves in you. Why would this young lady, because you just named it, and I think that's important. I know it. We got to find it, because if I heard my coach say that, it would just make my heart just flutter. What is about this young lady? And tell us when you coached her and what is about her that you say, you know what, Mr. Campbell, this is the reason why I named her.
She played with me last year, actually, at A&M, and she graduated back in December, and was just a leader on and off the court. You know, just gonna always do what's right. Can read a room and call a team huddle before I could even get the whistle to my. I couldn't even get the whistle to my mouth to put them on the line to run them. Like, she just knew every single time, and knew when to stand up to the coach to say, "Hey, coach, I think we should do this." And so when you have kids like that, they are very talented. You know, they have a gift. And that's your job to pour into them. And I know that Jaya knows that I love her. I got her number. We ain't got to find her. I got her number.
Yeah, we coach. Listen,
Coach, number.
Coach, you might listen. You need to text her right now. Get on here. We're gonna tell her go on and get this job. We're gonna support her. Now, Coach, I'm gonna turn it back. But listen, before you leave, me and you got to do one thing, because see, I know everybody talking about your social media stuff, but I do want to ask you. I want to talk basketball first, because I think it's important for people, because we have thousands of people that watch this show. And I'm going to say this because this is always important to me. We have a lot of parents that watch this show. I get texts all the time. And while, like I say, you're stylish and all that, and that's great, because I am going to tease you a little bit about it, because you're from Jackson, you got to be fly. So I already know what that's about. You know what I mean? That's how we move. But I wanted people to hear the type of coach you were and what made you to be that type of coach, because this is about basketball, you know what I mean? And things like that. So that's the reason why I asked some of those questions. So I'm going to, let Rocky and them get back at it. But I got a couple of things now, because the tournament's getting ready to come up. And I want to hear what you think about some of your peers and how they move and how you would match up with them if all things was equal. And they say cut the lights off and lock the gym doors and have your girls against their girls. So go ahead, Brock. I'm gonna let you, Coach, get back in.
No, since y'all on this Jackson thing, right? A friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, Derek Thomas, mentioned that Coach Thornton was an outstanding basketball player at Callaway High School, and that there was a very memorable game that she played in. I think it was 1998. I remember. And Coach, I know you probably fell in love long before that game happened. But why is it? Because we spoke earlier today. Why is that game so memorable to you and the people of Callaway? Like that's what Derek mentioned to me. You lit up when I mentioned it to you earlier today. Your mom even chimed in while we were having our discussion. Why was that victory so important against Merle?
You know, I think back in the day, the JPS Pepsi tournament that was held at Forest Hill High School was one of the hottest tournaments that you had right after Christmas every year. And, you know, we would come so close playing in state every year. And I think that even playing the Callaway, the Merle rivalry, that was our rivalry school. And it was just always that, you know, it was always wall to wall. Everybody can't even get in. It's 2,000 people inside. It's 1,000 people outside. It's every hometown rivalry field atmosphere. It's just crazy. And Merle just won a championship the year before that. You know, Tamika Reed was on that team. Ebony Felder, she played at LSU. Keisha Tardy, Ebony played at UGA in Georgia. They had all these Power 5 kids on the team. And boy, we came through one day and you know, we knocked them off their block and everybody just went crazy. And listen, it didn't matter. We won another championship ever in life. We knocked them off the block. And so it was a really, really dope thing. We won in the championship game there. So it was really nice.
Coach, let me ask you one Rocky real quick. Now I'm from North Jackson. How many of them old Callaway Charger old heads came up to you and said, that's what we were talking about? We've been doing it for all
the time.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned another very successful coach in the SWAC, Tamika Reed, as your competitor in high school. Coach, you guys have been going at it for a while. And as you followed her career and you followed your career and you both being from the same hometown, what do you think about the success she's had as a coach? And is this something you saw in her when you were competing against her?
Absolutely. You know, Tamika has done a phenomenal job, really and truly turning Jackson State women's basketball into a powerhouse. We won a championship when I was at Jackson State in 2003, a regular season championship, and we would always go back and forth head to head with Alabama State. But just for what Tamika did while she was there, definitely kudos to her. Hats off to her. And let me tell you, we didn't ever, never want to play them. For real, we didn't. And she did a phenomenal job with my alma mater, and I couldn't have asked for, you know, a better coach to represent our conference. And just to see her leave Jackson to go to Charlotte is inspiration for us all. I think, again, like I was just saying before then, like how many coaches leave this conference, Black women that leave the SWAC to go get the next job on the next level. So for Tamika to have an opportunity to do that at Charlotte as she's getting her feet planted there, and I know that she'll do well, because one thing about it, she's a competitor and she does not like to lose. So I'm sure that you know, she's going to do a tremendous job with that program at Charlotte as well.
You know, Coach, as in this era, as you were a hooper and you went off to college and played ball, and now that you're a head coach and the landscape has changed, what is the most difficult aspect of coaching in this particular era of coaching? You found a tremendous amount of success, and you've transitioned in. You've been a head coach. The transition from literally, it was against the rules to buy the kids a burger to now certain kids are expecting to get paid to play. What's the most difficult thing that you deal with on a day-to-day basis now that the you're in this pay-for-play landscape?
First off, shout out to all my people on here for Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is in the chat. I see it. So shout out to all y'all. What's up, my Callaway fans? Jackson, my hometown people. So hey, y'all. So I definitely want to speak to them now. But before they tap out and go to bed on me. But listen, I will honestly say managing personalities. On the women's side, you know, you don't have to deal with the egos, you know, and any kid that had a handler when we were recruiting them and their parents, I mean, they got somebody called, well, she needs this amount, she needs it. I don't even want to entertain them because I don't have the capacity to try to make a kid happy based off of $1. What I'm going to sell is me, right? I need you to commit to me. I need you to commit to Alabama A&M. I need you to commit to wanting to leave a legacy and wanting to be a part of history. And everything else is going to take care of itself. You commit to me, I'm going to take care of you. And you can check my Carfax. I take care of my kids. I don't tell them one thing and it becomes something totally different. And I took care of all of them. You know, we have one of the largest pool of rev share in the conference, I do believe. And so all of our young women, including our freshmen, are very well taken care of. They could buy me a ribeye steak on any given night. So, you know, they don't have no complaints.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach Cole, I see you ready to get in here, Coach. You on mute, Coach. Hold on, I'll unmute you, Coach. Go right ahead, Coach.
Oh, well, go ahead. Hey, you know, Ms. Thornton, is the way that you came through playing women's basketball, and now, you know, I referee games. I refereed a game tonight between two girls team that was horrible. Middle school. Is there a difference between then and now, or are the girls much better now, you know, and know what direction they want to go when you go out and trying to recruit? And also, do you hold a basketball camp as well, huh?
I do. You know, well, to be honest with you, I think the game is changing. It's going back to a lot of skill development, because I think a lot of kids at one point wanted to be real extra and have a lot of sauce and do all this other extra things. And now I think you got a lot of coaches that are really allowing kids to be themselves in the flow of an offense, per se, but really and truly teaching the skill development behind it. At least we do. We're really, really big on developing skill and really trying to improve our kids in their game. And so shout out to my assistant coaches for doing a phenomenal job of that, because they're in the gym countless hours, really and truly trying to work on our kids to get better. So that's a real thing. So the talent level, you know, I think it just kind of depends on the league and what you're interested in. And for me, as far as our basketball camps, I do several camps, but the one that's most important, most rewarding to me is the free camp that I put on for the community, where it's for boys and girls. And we really spend a lot of time really trying to just empower them. And, you know, people come out and cut hair, and we give out food, and we have a back to school drive. And, you know, we have a lot of, it's just a great family atmosphere. And so I just kind of want to bring that old school. I want that old thing back. You know, like this new generation stuff can make you feel like everything has to be done a certain type of way, like flashy. But I want that old thing back. Like I wanted to feel like it used to feel back in the day.
Yeah. If you're talking to coaches in middle school, what are some of the things that they really need to focus on with girls or young basketball players as well?
I say the first part of your question again.
I said, what would you tell middle school coaches, girl coaches, I guess? What would you tell them? What is important that they should be learning at that age?
You know, I just want to I think a lot of our middle school coaches have to embrace their position in their lives, in these young girls and boys' lives, as they are the foundation, right? And I don't, and you got to be smart when you are introducing your kids to sports, organized team sports in middle school, because everybody qualified. I used to, so I'm qualified. But I really think it's important that they embrace the foundation side of really trying to work on those attitudes and those relationships, and really teaching the fundamentals of the game. And I think that that's a real important thing, because you would be surprised how much we work on boxing out. And boxing out was the first thing that I learned to do when I was in middle school. I would think on the football side, it's like shooting your uppers, right? Like, I mean, you gotta have a certain technique to make sure that that you get the leverage you need to. So it's the same thing in basketball. But I mean, so many of our kids, we work on it every single day.
You have a question for you, Coach Coach Thornton is, and I know the answer, but they ask you, is the camp in Jackson?
No, the camp is it. I started to do a camp in Jackson last year.
They got buses. Coach Thornton, that'll drive from.
Stay tuned. That may be something that I wanted to do that last year. Just stay tuned. Stand by. You never know.
Coach, ain't nothing wrong with you doing a satellite camp.
Coach, they got territory rules, don't they, in Mississippi, don't they?
Nah, Coach, listen. Coach got to go get players. But Coach, you talked about something, and again, as somebody that watches basketball, women's basketball, and Coach tickled me. He said, "Wow, those little girls are horrible." Women's basketball as a whole, even from the time when you started, the skill level has been tremendous. And I'm looking even at the SWAC when I'm looking. Again, we don't have as much height because everybody gets the height. But talk about the guard play that I have seen at all the teams. Again, Coach Gordon, again, one of my favorite coaches because he's a rattler. But of course, I watched Coach Gordon at the University of Tennessee, who's on the Mount Rushmore of Tennessee. I think a lot of people don't understand that. But I'm seeing what she's doing with her guards. I'm seeing what you're doing with your guards. I'm seeing what the Coach Jack State's doing with their guards down in Southern. Because, we have all these great guards in the conference. What is that? Is that part of what you guys are teaching them? Because, we don't have a lot of heart, but we do have a lot of great guard play. Is that something that you say, you know what, let's teach this when you're talking about the fundamentals?
Well, I think guards now, guards have always come a dime a dozen. No disrespect, to that position at all. But I do think that it's a bigger pool for you to choose from that position. And so, and I think you can handpick what you want in those positions. And I think that coaches are being more creative as to what is important to their programs and how that fits into their systems. And that's how they're making those decisions, because it's a lot of great guards in our league for sure.
How hard is it for you all as coaches in the SWAC to recruit the size, the young lady, the 6'3.5", 6'4", up to 6'5"? I know you go to a lot of these tournaments and stuff like that. How hard is it to try to get that post player that we've seen, again, that can take you to a Final Four, that can help you win a conference championship because of the way the women's game is structured?
Well, recruiting comes second nature to me. So that's easy.
So, Coach, you just go out there and get. So let me ask you a question. Well, since this easy, what is the type of player when you're going out at these tournaments and stuff, like give us the 5 things that you're looking for that checks boxes to say this person could be a Lady Bulldog at Alabama A&M?
Well, character is very important to us. You got to have good character. You got to be able to be respectful to your parents, to your coaches that you're playing for now. And I don't do attitudes. So, I'm watching how you respond. I'm watching to, the way that their body language is. All of those things are very key to me when I'm looking for talent, for sure. But also you got to be a dog, and I want some little divas. I mean, I want a team to resemble my personality. Everywhere we go, we talk about big energy and what that looks like. And so I want people and young individuals to walk in the room and say, "Oh yeah, I am her. I'm her. It's my day." Yeah, and I think that's a real thing.
Coach, can I ask something? When you guys travel, is is everybody dressed like you? or is it a team dress code? Well, when I've coached, kids had to have belts on, no flip-flops. You got to have clean shaved, you had to have a collar shirt, when we dress. Is that one of your deals, or do you just let them? Is that a part of your program?
We move around like the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody got on white socks. You got on the shoe I bought you. Make sure everybody got the same T-shirt on. No, you can't put a hole in the shirt. No do-rags. No headphones on when you're ordering food. No cell phones at the table. And when you get off the bus, drop your phone in the box. That's what we do.
Right. So is it a dress code that the ladies have to come in, sort of like?
Well, it's yeah, they do. Yeah, they have a dress code. Yes,
especially when y'all flying, y'all on the plane.
Everybody will look like they are. Everybody will have the same thing on. Right. The same thing on. Absolutely.
Coach, I know we're gonna get you out here, but I want to get your opinion on something that's related to the WNBA because you are a fashionista. Did you have you've been coaching a while and you've been watching the sport a long time. Did you ever think fashion and style would become part of the WNBA the way it is right now?
Honestly, yes, I did. You could see more women stepping up, having a voice. And again, I think that word being unapologetic is a real word for our women in sports right now. I don't think that people really understand how difficult it is on a daily basis just being a woman, right? And so I think now we have created a space to where we can go in rooms and just be whomever it is that we want to be. And if it's not for you, it's okay, because it is for somebody. And now, even for me, like I have so many people come up to me and just say, you just don't know how you inspire me. And I'm like, all I did was I just woke up this morning. That's it. And so just having that type of mindset and that type of mentality, we're just going to go in spaces and go in rooms and just be ourselves. And who cares what you think?
Yeah. Coach, let me jump in here because I know we got to go, but I want to play this game because, again, I thank you but Rocky led into something. I'm going to share my screen because I saw this and I was fascinated, and I'm going to share my screen, and I want you to tell us what you were thinking when you put it on. That's the game we're going to play. Hold on. Let's see if we can get in here. Coach, you got a whole article written about 7 times Coach Dawn Thornton will study fashion. Now, Coach, did you know about this article?
No, I haven't
Coach,
seen.
you got a whole article about you on a website in India. Okay? Did you wait now, Coach? Wait a minute now. Folks will check you out. Now, Coach, they said 7 times. Now, Coach, I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to scroll through these. Okay, can you see this look right here, Coach?
I can.
Tell us about this fit, Coach. Now, how did this come together right here?
I have a stylist, and her name is Tanya Pugh Johnson, and she's out of Birmingham, Alabama. And last year, she came out to my house, and we just talked about everything. What color you like, what you don't like, how you want the clothes to fit, how you like. We talked about it all, and I just trusted her enough to where all I wanted to do was focus on basketball, and she was going to put everything else together. And so I didn't have to do nothing but focus on basketball. She would bring those clothes in a bag 2 hours before the game and say, here, you wearing this today. And I was just like, okay.
Okay. Right. Let's go to the next one here, Coach. Now this one right here, I saw so many people repost this one. The hair was herring. Everything was done. Now, Coach, what were you thinking on this one?
That piece was very special too, because a young Black. So here's the thing, though. And I don't mind. We could talk fashion all day. Here's the thing. you know, a lot of us as coaches, a lot of coaches are in position to wear whatever it is that they want to wear on the sideline. No disrespect to anybody. I've seen the labels, the names, and everything, right? For me, my platform is I want to put other young Black artists and creative designers. I want to put them on a stage. I don't have to put all of the other labels that says Saks and Neiman's on a stage. I'm going to support my African American community. So a young woman actually hand painted everything that's on that outfit. And so you know,
I'm gonna make that big. I'm gonna see if we make that big on that.
Can we know who her name is?
She's tagged on the. It's so many, Coach. I get somebody for every game, kind of, sorta. Wow. But it was actually tagged on there. But you can see those are words that are like hand painted on.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. Now we're gonna go to the next one, because like I said, it's to me, and I'm gonna get to a point of something that I'm just saying. Okay, now this one. Now, Coach, I'm gonna tell you this. This is a funny thing. So you wore this, right? And what's funny, like you say again, all of you amazing Black female coaches, you all are style makers. I got a phone call about this right here, Coach. One of my boys said, "Hey man, I'm watching this game." Now, Coach, this was simple but elegant. Now, what was that, Coach? Let me ask you a question. Also, are you undefeated in all these fields? I think every time you go viral, you guys win too. Is that also true? Close to it.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to just win some games, and so I don't know if it has anything to do with the outfits, but you know, now that you brought that to my attention, let me pay attention more to what I'm wearing and winning. So I'm going to focus on that. But
I got a question too, Coach. But I'll let Mr. Campbell finish his.
All right, Coach. Yeah, we just got this one right here. Now this one, Coach, this was really interesting because you had to. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can play that. Let's see. You had to go jump to Instagram. I think this might be a video right here. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. Can we now, Coach? Let's see. Okay, hold on one second. It should be playing. Why is it not playing? Oh, you know what? Why is it not playing there? Okay. You know what? Hold on. Okay. I tell you, we'll come back to that one because that's a video. I'm gonna come back there. Let's go to this one. Right.
So look, so peep this. So
talk to me, Coach.
That outfit was hand painted as well. So that's a basketball court that was painted on to that corset that I had, and then the logo, the Bulldog logo, is on each side. And the vintage brooches, I had a lot of brooches that were on my shirt that came from a Black consignment boutique seller in Birmingham, Alabama. So those two pieces are very special too. Yeah.
Now, Coach, here's the thing I also noticed. Is the hair first and then the fit, or do you say the fit and the hair got to go with the fit? How do you work that?
The hairdo got to go with the fit.
Okay. It got to do that.
Wait, I did an interview today and they said, well, what are you going to pack in your bag for the swag tournament? I said, maybe about 2-3 wigs. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
Now, Coach, I hope you can see this. This is the one because, again, it'll tick. Now, this one when you was in all Black gangster look. Now, what was this about, Coach? We
was going for some Nino Brown, New Jack City vibe with that. We kind of just wanted to thug it out a little bit.
But listen, here's the thing, because you're from Jackson, but see, thug with a little bit of class. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of class.
Hey, Coach.
It's like my grandma say.
Coach,
you can look at it, but don't play with it.
Coach Campbell, you slam dunk her. She ain't know you done all your research.
Listen, man.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
If you gonna come on HBCU Coaches Corner, like Coach, I think this might be the last one right here.
Oh, you went by it. That one right there.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, this one right here. And like I said again, now, Coach, you had the bomb. You got your hands. It looked like you was coaching her. Now, Coach, talk to me about this.
I think that was just another statement piece. The Black was a color that I really wanted to wear last year. It was just something that symbolized, just I just want to just kind of just I just want to dominate, and I want to be in black. I want to shut it down. Like that's just.
Hey, well, I'm gonna
Coach,
I'm gonna say something for the other SWAT coach. We can't stand you.
I know.
Well, you already answered my question. My question gonna be, do you take the fashion as a competition? And I see that you definitely do. Yeah. As far as, maybe not a direct competition with someone else, but you do want to be impressive from a fashion standpoint. And like you say, you shut it down several times this year, Coach. No doubt.
I'm just in my own lane, and I really don't focus or worry about what other people do. I really don't. There are a lot of beautiful black women that represent their programs to a high standard and look very, very well doing it. But I just do my own little thing, and I'm excited about those opportunities and what that is afforded to be able to do. So
now, Coach, I want to, this is my last thing, and this is the reason why I wanted to set this up, because I have daughters. And again, as we all do, I have black mother, beautiful black mother. How important is it, because of the things of historically of the disrespect of the black woman, the things you can't look a certain way, your body is a different way, it's not Caucasian like, and things like that. How important, when I see all these young basketball players, as you say now, are understanding that they are a brand also, which allows them to get brand deals, to get NIL deals, to be marketed and things like that, promote the university and stuff like that. How do you feel when your players, and like you say, other young, when you go to these camps and they say, Coach, I just appreciate the way you look and how you carry it. Even the parents, I'm pretty sure, and alumni say that to you. How do you feel about that? Because I think that's just so important. Again, because I come back to, again, when we have white coaches on the sidelines, we have white, and again, great coaches, you know what I'm saying? So Kim Mulkey, great for her to LSU. But listen, look, Dawn State, that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? CBS, that's my girl. You, my girl. So I know how important this is, because you're representing not only basketball, but again, as they say, you're representing our culture.
I do appreciate that. It's a real thing to represent our culture with class. It's a real thing for me to really and truly be a mentor or be someone that my team wants to look up to. So I just kind of keep the main thing again, and that's just being a light to those. I'm not I've heard my whole life you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Like, I mean, I don't know how do you, as an individual, as a young woman who wants to be successful, who wants to grow and to thrive, like, how do you have that success when somebody's always just continuing, like, just beating you down? And I can't control how God made me, right? But and if they sold it on the rack in a size 14 for you and you 5'7", why can't I wear it and I'm 6'2"? But I just think that we just have to do a better job of using spaces like this to speak, so people can understand who you really are, because a lot of people have this misconception of who I am, but that's just because they don't know me. And I'm okay with that. I just continue to do the things that I need to do so I can inspire, serve, and motivate those who I deal with on a daily basis.
Well, Coach, I want to make this last statement. The reason why, and that's why I want to point this out, because it's about depth. And I think I wanted people to understand, again, you're from Jackson, you went to Jackson State, you are an HBCU person through and through. You coach at an HBCU. And what I have seen, and again, I'm just an advocate for all our schools. I sponsor a lot of things and things like that. It is always important to let people know where we come from is always good and even better than where you came from. So I appreciate you, Coach, because a lot of people say the social media thing. No. It is a method to the madness. And it's about carrying that torch, like I say. And everybody, like I say, go see Vivian Stringer was sharp with them heels on that in that red when she was at Rutgers. So that's what I'm saying. This is something that has been passed on from generation to generation. Coach, like I said, I appreciate you as a fellow Jacksonian. I'm proud of you. And like I said, I'll see you when y'all play FAMU.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. Seeing the bigger picture As far as social media is concerned, seeing the bigger picture is a real thing. You know, we have increased our social media presence tremendously. And the one thing that my program understands, that my staff understands, it is bringing recognition to our schools. So people are like seeing, you know, this is the diva coach, but this is a diva coach. And where is she? Who is this lady? Right? Which brings more attraction to our university, to our campus, and brings people where? To the games, out to do what? Buy a ticket. And those are the things that we want to continue to happen. So I'm excited about the platform that I have, and I try my best to represent it with class at all times.
Hey, Coach, I just want to say something before Coach Cole wraps it up. Coach, if this coaching thing doesn't work out, I believe you have a future with your personality and style in media. You know what I mean? So if for some reason that coaching thing doesn't work out, I think you certainly can get in front of the camera and communicate the game. For sure.
That's what the young folk do. I get clock it. I got that. I'm okay. I got you.
And to our local commentator on our staff, which is Coach Cole, he's a commentator. What do you think about it, Coach? Does he have a future?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, you know, a personality, and these the kind of people that we need to represent our schools. You know what I mean? We don't need to let this talent get away. Or that she need to be able to come back and talk about women's sports, because it's coming from the heart, you know. And that's one thing about, you know, playing and coaching for us and by us, man. It comes from our heart. You know, we always talk about, you know, why some of the HBCU coaches will coach at the HBCU school before they go on to a bigger school. It's just we coach from our heart. You know, we coach for a reason. We're not coaching mascots. You know, we coaching young people that we were always was in their shoes before too. So we know what this world is about, and we just need more coaches like Coach Thornton, and we need her to move on. You know, we need her to move on. I said it. You know, and I think it'll happen for her. And as I always say with me and Coach Melvin Spears, each one bring one, each one teach one. I think we're gonna be okay. And I think with Miss Thornton, you know, leading the way now in our conference, I wish you all the luck in the world in the tournament coming up. I can remember those days, and you know, no upsets now, no upsets. And I'm gonna
Hey, she going to FAMU. She going to FAMU tomorrow, Coach. So I try to make sure Mr. Campbell don't put a hex on her. You know.
I apologize. Next year this won't happen. I'm gonna lead you off the way, and then we're gonna get all the rest of the women basketball coaches, because we definitely need you guys on our show. We had, I don't know if you know, we had 2 million views just last year. This is our second year, so we'll get a count this summer, man. And you know, we moving this show right along, and of course, man, we can't say, and I can't say enough about these two gentlemen who have helped me chase my dream. And of course, you have never said no. You know, you always found the time. You even found found nail time. You know, you found our time before you get your nails done. I know that was important. But hey, good luck. I love you. You know that. I look to see you going to the NCAA tournament this year.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And let me know if y'all need a co-host. You know, let me know. I might need to.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Coach. Wait, hold on now, Coach. Wait. Hold on. Let me jump in now, Coach. I got a Sunday show called Sipping on Sundays. Me and Zoe Phillips, a Jack State guy, and I'm from Jackson, and we start with Mississippi centric. So listen, if you got a Sunday,
not Campbell. But
listen, come on, Sipping on Sundays, and we can talk that Jackson thing.
You gotta clear that through Scotty.
We come on, hey man, we can talk about that Jackson thing. Talk about that Jackson thing.
Wait, what we sipping on?
Whatever you bring to the table. That's whatever you bring.
Okay, I need to make sure.
It's sipping on whatever you sipping on, Coach. Whatever.
Hey, stay away from those cut waters. That's all I say.
I told you that Zoe guy, I suspended him for 1 year. Talking about that Jackson State stuff in Prairie View. I told him Jermaine Jackson is for real, but no, man, that show, Coach, I loved it, man. I had a chance to pay attention to it. Y'all got something going there, Coach. I
No,
love
we
it.
bringing all the Mississippi folks, Coach. We bringing all the Mississippi folks, the superstars on and things like this. So I'm gonna get in contact with you. And like I said, we got to talk that North Jackson stuff. You see what I'm saying? That Beasley Road, hanging mountains.
601 Beasley Road.
Come on, man. They don't know.
Hey, Rocky, they cutting this out, man. They cutting this out.
Hey, man, when they get to talking this Jackson stuff, it's like, I know they're out of bow out.
Listen, hey, Coach, listen, let me tell you one quick thing. So, again, I'm from Jackson family. My granddad went to Jackson State in 1938. But I went to FAMU.
No. Your granddaddy went to Jackson College.
Yes, Jackson College. Yeah, exactly. Class of 12. It was 12 of them. 2 women. Can you believe that? Now, those are outstanding women that was out of that 12. But, Coach, folks get mad when I try to talk about Jackson because I went to FAMU. Can you believe that? Do they do you like that, Coach? Because you over there at Alabama A&M, do they get mad at you, the Jackson folks?
Listen, I done been around this conference so much. I tell people I'm swag. Okay, who's swag if I ain't swag? Right?
Thank you, Coach.
My son's father has coached at 4-5 schools in the conference, and he's a Alabama State alum as well. So, listen, we swag through and through. So, but one thing I will say, people don't like folk from Jackson State. They be talking about us so bad. I mean, it's because we different. If you from Jackson, you are just different.
You are
different. You just.
Y'all the city slickers of the South.
Watch this here, Coach. I think they got a mafia running in Jackson. We got Ashley. We got, former Coach Tamika Reed. We got Miss Thornton. And guess who we got? This is else we found out from Jackson. The commissioner is from Jackson.
Yeah.
Isn't
TC from Jackson?
No, he's from South Pike. He's from South Pike.
Oh, okay. But he's from Mississippi. So
yeah, absolutely.
Different roots now. Don't sleep on the roots.
Yeah, Coach. I just have to straighten them out, Coach. Because, like I say, no matter what you represent on your head, we still Jackson always. I just had to let them know that, Coach. Just had to let them know that.
We swag, baby. We swag.
We swag, baby. Get it right. We swag.
Yeah. I've been around myself. I've been about 5 different schools, I think, in the conference. Something like that.
I'm catching up with you.
Yeah.
I'm catching up with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass this torch. On. But hey, man, you sensational. I mean, you first class. You've always been that way, man. And I just look to follow you in the future. Hey, are you getting Tamika on your? Can y'all work out the schedule now that Tamika making that big money?
We definitely should look into that. However, for me, strategic demographically, it has to make sense for me to take my team out of Huntsville on a plane to go and play a Power 4 school. You gonna have to pay for everything for us. Like right. It's and that's a real thing. A lot of times we still got time. We talking. Y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all can call that the HBCU Soul Bowl. She can come to you and play in Jackson, and let you take the gate.
That's true. That's true.
That would be a hell of a game. Shit, I might fly out and come see that. We'll look into that. We'll look into that. But I was just gonna say, it's difficult for me. I don't care to put my team on a plane to go and try to play for the amount of money a lot of schools try to give us. Why would I go 5 hours to break even? When I could go to Auburn and take the bus and bring me a few dollars back. But if I get on that plane, we might be eating 4 for 4s on the way back because it took us 20 long to get there. So that's right. That's right.
Coach, did you guys play Auburn this year? You didn't?
No, we played Alabama. We didn't play
Alabama.
We played Alabama. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because again, the coach at Auburn was the former coach at Norfolk State women's team, and did an outstanding job. So that's why I just wondered because that connects, that HBCU connection and anything like that.
I'm trying to get Auburn to come up to host. I mean, we want to host Auburn. I don't, Coach Vickers, what's up? Y'all pull up on us. We want to host.
Hey, come on, man. Listen.
We want to host.
Hey, he want to keep his job.
Well, we hosted Ole Miss this year. We hosted Alabama last year. So it's Auburn's time to pull up. Come on, Auburn, what's up?
Okay, Coach Yo brought him down there. Okay,
Coach, that's one thing that you may find peculiar next year with the success you've had this year. Do those coaches want to book Alabama A&M and host them and pay them to come?
Ain't nobody mess with Mr. Coach Thornton, man.
No, what I'm saying is,
show up on the damn sideline. Team gonna be playing y'all hard now.
My old head coach say, we'll drive all the way to Laredo to get a win, but we won't go across the street to get our butt whooped. You know what I mean?
That's true. You better not come home with no black eye.
I got you. Boy, y'all get out of here tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, we leave at 4 a.m.
Wow.
Mr. Campbell, you got any special make a call down there to make sure she's comfortable?
Come on now. Come on. I like to eat.
Listen, Coach, I know a few people, Coach. So whatever you need, and like Coach Gordon gonna take care of you anyway, because Coach Gordon just class personified. So Coach, whatever you need.
I like to eat. What I need to eat?
Know what? That's you know what? When do you guys get in?
Tomorrow at about 12 or 1.
Can I share your contact information with Mr. Campbell?
Just give him my cell phone number. I don't know.
We'll get it. See if we get somebody get that good rattler hospitality to feed those girls or something.
Dawn, when we go to Atlanta, we carte blanche now. That man there, we carte blanche. We going in the front of the lines and we eat steaks and
hold on, let me record all this stuff, y'all. They out here talking cash money.
Yeah, we up
again.
When was we doing our show?
Y'all will be in Atlanta in about less than a month, right?
Coach, when you come to Atlanta, Coach, listen. I keep trying. I'm internationally known and locally loved. Ain't nowhere I can't go anywhere in any city. That's how I move, Coach. We from Jackson.
Well, hey, Coach, let me ask you this. It looks like you guys are going to get the first 2 buys. When will you guys arrive in Atlanta?
So first off, y'all taking me too fast. Slow down, back all the way back up. I don't know nothing.
Coach said she ain't gonna give that bulletin board material.
Ain't nobody gonna clip me saying she said she got 2 buys. That's not true. I got FAMU on Thursday. That's all I know.
That's right. That's right.
Don't let her hustle, Coach.
That's right.
He's the trouble, Coach. Now let me tell you, he's the troublemaker on the show. He quick to try to put you in a spin zone.
No. Coach is all right. I've been considering going to the SWAC tournament, and I was just trying to make sure that I don't go too early, because some of us work for a living and we don't want to take too many off days.
Well, no matter what, we're going to leave on Sunday. That Sunday the 9th.
There you go.
So we will be there. We plan on being there Sunday to Sunday.
March the 9th.
March the 9th to March the 5th.
And it's in Atlanta.
It is.
Yes.
Gateway Center, right by the airport.
Yeah.
My brother lived around the corner from there. I got you.
Hey, Coach, we may go there and get some content, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
We'll sit down and chop it up if y'all
there you go.
Up.
For sure. All right, Coach, thank you so much. You've been gracious with your time, and good luck the rest of your season.
And shout out to all my Alabama A&M people in the chat. I see y'all over there too. I see y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and locking in with us. All right. Go Bulldogs.
Hey.
Wow.
I can't believe she's from Jackson.
No, you should believe that she's from
That
Jackson.
was a show, wasn't it?
Come on, man.
Can you hear me, Coach? No, Coach, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Campbell?
I can hear you perfectly.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you perfectly.
I can't hear y'all.
Go out and come back in, because I don't know what happened.
Kick him out.
I will. I'll kick him out.
Tell him in the chat. No,
Yeah.
Rocky, one of the things, and I wanted to make sure, because again, I think your questions were great and everything, but I definitely wanted to make sure we had some serious basketball centric, because women's basketball is at an all-time high. And I think, again, what I'm hoping for, because basketball, unlike football, they can't use the delineation. Oh, this FBS and this is FCS. This is all D1. This is all D1. So again, you can be, and we've seen mid-majors and both sides, men's and women, make runs. So that's the reason why I'm curious, and I want to see our women's game, because there's an opportunity because we are a mid-major, to build it up to a mid-major where they can make a run in the tournament if they get the right seeding. So again, you're talking about, again, coach, depending on what happens, well, whoever the SWAC champion is, Texas is probably going to have a region. They'll probably end up down there in Texas or maybe over South Carolina. It just depends. But I'm more likely to Texas, because I think that's really where they push them at. I don't think they're going to push them all the way up to Connecticut. But I think, again, depending on where that region is, like I say, see if you can catch somebody slipping. That is my biggest thing.
That's the thing about, I think, winning. I think this will even be a struggle once SWAC programs get up to a certain level in any sport. You're going to have trouble booking games against formidable candidates or formidable opponents, because guess what? Matchmaking is going to get difficult because nobody wants to book a loss.
You know what? Well, let me say this. I want us to get to that level, because that means we're getting that level. But we're playing at that high level, like Jackson State was a couple of years ago. To your point, we want to get our women's basketball to that level where, again, ball bounced the wrong way. LSU was up out of there. Should have been up out of there. But again, it's basketball is what it is.
Coach Reed, Coach Mulkey was very complimentary of Coach Reed that year that she played her in a real tough game. But if you notice, she didn't book her that next year. It was a short drive to Jackson.
No. She didn't. Listen, Coach Mulkey don't want to see none of them black coaches, because they be putting that whoop on them. She don't want to see none of them black girls when they come down there rolling on her. So, like I said, what I'm excited about when you talk to a Coach Thornton, a Coach Reed, and things like that, they understand the assignment. That is the thing about it. They understand, because, again, like I say, again, I'm just a huge women's basketball fan. Carolyn Peck, like I say, Dawn Staley, again, C. Vivian Stringer. These women, like I say, have laid the groundwork for Coach Thornton and them to come and take it to the next level. And like I said, we'll see what happens. I don't want her to go anywhere, but I tell you one thing: when you start winning 20+ games, people start noticing.
But I mean, this is why coaching is so important. Like, winning has followed her. I looked up her resume. Winning has followed her. In previous generations of coaching, she would be at one school for 25 years, wouldn't she, Coach? Like, she wouldn't even move around the way she's moving around. But with success becomes opportunity, and with opportunity, these guys move around. I can't conceive why a school like Prairie View would get rid of a coach of her caliber, considering that she won a championship. I'm gonna have to look into that and find out, just to satisfy my own curiosity.
Yeah, well, stuff happens, things change. And again, and I'll say this, and Coach Quinn Grace said this: what I was before is not who I am now. So there's growth in her coaching. You know what I mean? And things like that. So when she was a young coach then at Prairie View, she's a seasoned coach now. So you see that happen. I don't think that. I honestly, that's a no story to me. The story is where she is now, where she's got this team beating people by 20+ points on the road to being a 20 victory team, and really going to do some damage. And again, like I said, they're in the first 4 years. I get it, but guess what? Getting that first 4 game and win it, the check is still the same. A win is a win in the NCAA tournament. So if she can get it and get into the big dance, then so be it.
I think we were going to have a special guest, a SWAC football legend, jump on, because I actually wanted to talk to Coach Cole about some of the moves that are being made by some of the teams. Me and you briefly talked about Marshall Faulk not being present at signing day. I don't think that's a huge story, but I do think it's a different approach, don't you think? Maybe signing day isn't as important.
Well, no, I'm going to defend it. I don't know this, but I will say this. Okay. Marshall Faulk, Emmitt Smith, those guys like that, Dion, those guys have sponsors. And Super Bowl week, they get paid for those sponsors. That was booked well in advance before he got that job. So somebody, I'm pretty sure we go look and see what he was doing. He's probably out there with a sponsor. He wasn't out there going to parties. He was probably doing Radio Row and saying, I'm sponsoring Row or some heart medicine or something like that or whatever.
Maybe. But yeah,
So my thing is, we have to be careful, because if he already had a previous engagement, what is he supposed to do? You know what I mean?
He can't get the money back.
he can't get the money back and stuff like that. And I want to say this. So, okay, let me do this for us basketball people. Sydney Carter, who played at Texas A&M, won a national championship. Sydney is actually more like works with the players far as their personal, like more of a personal gym. She's not an X and O's coach right now for them. So she is way of, I could give you about 20 black coaches that are actually first assistants on the team that will get a head coach job before Sydney Carter. She does well, far as her dress and stuff like that. But she's not a first chair assistant at Texas.
Hasn't she served under two coaches at Texas? Because I almost want to say she was with the previous coach, but maybe she was. But I'm not sure what capacity that she works in.
Well, I'm telling you, she's never been a first chair assistant. That's not what she does. Okay. I'm telling you what I know. So that's why a lot of people ask her that. And, again, that's not her position. She's not a first chair assistant. So she's got to move her way up.
Texas, they probably taking care of her.
Oh, yeah.
Good as well. So for her, I don't know the economy of women's basketball as well as I know the economy of men's football. I mean, football. But for an assistant coach to take a head coaching job at a FCS or a Group of 5 school, for that matter, it has to make sense monetarily, because who wants it and take a pay cut?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, if you know Sydney, she'll tell you she's a Texas girl. Texas was her favorite school. Yes. She wanted to go to Texas, and she ended up going to Texas A&M and having to win a national championship because she had Sydney Colson right next to her. They had a bomb squad. I think it was 2011. And Texas A&M is not a girls basketball school, but Sydney Colson, there was another girl on that squad that was that
coach. It was the coach they had for like 3 or 4 years that ultimately ended up going to Mississippi State. Didn't he go to Mississippi State after he won it at
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember.
Older white guy.
Yeah, older white guy. Yep. And this goes back to my point about the older white guy. You know what I'm saying? Older white guy coaching, coaching women's sports, coaching majority black girls, and opportunity. So when you see a Dawn Thornton, a Tamika Reed, I want these women to get these opportunities, because again, they're making all this money. And like she said, these coaches, and I don't want, and I'll say this, and anybody will tell you, one thing I admire about women that sports, they're much more in tune about what's going on in the world. They're very political. They're very socially engaged. And there's a big disconnect when you don't have a coach like, again, a Dawn Staley, Coach Thornton, that's talking to these young black women and things that they're going through. You just can't have, like I say, again, even the thing about hair. That white woman gonna tell them about that girl about their hair. You can't. It's just a social thing that we have. And I think black women coaches have that innate ability to be a mother, a sister, and also a leader. And that's why I admire, and it's a tough thing. And I want to keep seeing more and more black coaches, because again, white guys coaching, man, go on somewhere with that.
I also wanted to get Coach's take on Andrew Body coming back to Alabama State.
Right.
I've read several articles where he had other opportunities to leave, even other HBCU opportunities to leave. And he decided to come back to Alabama State. I think that was big for the SWAC and HBCU football as a whole.
The Google was on it. He Googled it out. Gary Blair, that was it. And Vic Shaver, but you got to love Ronald Hunter. Quick on that Google, boy. That's him, Gary Blair. That was the coach.
But I also was gonna. I guess we're bouncing around. In that situation with Marshall Faulk, also was out there was Mike Vick and also Deshaun Jackson. So all three of those guys were out in San
Francisco,
California during that time. So again, I think you're probably right. These guys had engagements, or And I think with Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson, they were actually doing stuff with the NFL,
Right.
NFL's
the flag football game.
Yeah. The Pro Bowl, so to speak.
Yeah, Pro Bowl flag football game, correct.
So do you think and I will say this, Mike Vick is wearing more Norfolk State gear now?
Well, I'm pretty sure that again, listen, man, we this echo chamber, somebody's gonna see something. And somebody's gonna say something to you. You might not like. Again, listen. Scotty it has amazed me some of the things that he says, and people get so mad about it. But all it takes is one person to say it to you, right? So I'm pretty sure. And again, I think Michael Vick, I don't think he was doing it on purpose. I think he was just wearing clothes. But I think people behind the scenes say, listen, you represent our university. It's very important for you as a superstar to wear our paraphernalia. A, we can sell it because that helps the school. And B, people know where you're coaching at. So I think that was part of it. I think he just had a little bit of a learning curve. And I think a lot of people should probably talk to him. I'm pretty sure some of the alumni, I'm pretty sure the AD, the president, say, hey, you know what? We understand, coach, that you're wearing stuff, but we would love for you to wear Norfolk State stuff. Again, I think one thing I would give Dion credit. When he rolled in that escalator and came into the AAC Center with that Jack State, he understood it. Same thing with Deshaun Jackson. He wore those Delaware State colors. Because, man, that is important. And I don't think people understand how important it is when you see your coach representing your brand, because those coaches are the most popular people on the campus. They're out there. Like I say, you don't see the science teacher on Sports Center. You see the head football coach, whether you're Michael Vick or you're Deshaun Jackson, and you want people to ask, where's Norfolk State? You want people to ask, where's Delaware State? Because that starts a conversation. Because a lot of people, when I'm out and about and I'm driving around or I'm wearing something, and there's nothing funnier to me, I'll see some white person and they kind of heard about the band, you know what I mean? Or they'll mispronounce FAMU, or they're from Florida. Oh, I love the band. But it starts a conversation. And the first thing I say, yeah, we're definitely more than the band. One of the best schools out. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I just told you.
Yeah, I think for HBCUs, brand recognition is so important because unfortunately, all HBCUs are kind of grouped in the same, in one big group, and you know this because you've been in the space a long time. As I've come to understand, each HBCU has its own particular culture, history, and traditions. You know what I mean? They're not all the same in any way when you get down to the particulars of each HBCU.
Well, it's no different than is Texas A&M the same as Houston? Absolutely not. No. Texas A&M ain't the same as Texas. Yeah. They let you know that we're not the same. It's the same thing. Auburn and Alabama ain't the same. You know what I mean? Vanderbilt and University of Tennessee are not the same. But
the only point I'm thinking is that HBCUs are often grouped together,
but I'm saying even with that same group, because you have people from and again, that's a human thing. You know what I'm saying? Yes. People from the Big Ten think all the people in the SEC are rednecks and well, they mostly are, but I'm just saying, it's part of it. But the one thing that what I like, again, I was out in LA. I think you remember we talked about this. Yeah. I was out in LA last year for New Year's. Jack State band was out there in the Rose Bowl parade. I had my FAMU stuff. I saw Jack State people. I saw Hampton people. I saw A&T. Everybody was just out there that was just speaking and stuff like that. We were at a restaurant, met a guy. Again, he was a Hampton guy. Jack State people were there. A&T people were there. And we were just all talking, man. It was just a vibe. And all of us said, man, we just proud that Jack State was out there representing HBCUs. That was a really great thing.
Hey, before we get out of here, guys, we have the number up. If you want to call in, you certainly can call in. But I want to ask Mr. Campbell, or you guys can put it in the chat. Has there been anything that has surprised you? Because let's be honest, compared to the last 3 off seasons, this has been pretty quiet off season for all the schools, right? When you really think about it, as I can remember, there were a lot of, I would say, jockeying for position, player movement, coaching movement, all that kind of stuff. Even institutional instability going on in the offseason. This has been a pretty calm off season for schools in the SWAC and the MEAC for that matter.
Well, you know what I think? We finally got some consistency with everybody's now all these massive changes at the president and, and the AD and things like that. I think, again, for FAMU just kind of settled in. We got the coaches, we got the AD, we got the president, same thing for a lot of these other schools, so I'm happy. I'm glad that it's not FAMU foolishness or Jack State foolishness or Southern foolishness or Grambling foolishness, all the things that people like to amplify of negativity. Because that's quick to do it. And like I say, and unfortunately, we have a group that are alumni that revel in that. They're quick. I've never, it's always amazed me that it be the alumni that quick to tell you the crazy stuff that's going on. Because they want to get on Twitter or on Instagram and say something bad happened at their school. So my thing is, bro, I think for all of us, I think just it's been calm. I'm happy. Again, we got, a lot of kids that are getting ready to come in the fall, as new students, as athletes. And again, I'm just really excited that, to your point, that we ain't talking about nothing crazy.
Hey, and this guy's kind of attributed to there's no more word on the streets in the middle.
Right. And guess what? And you know who gave Scotty the word on the street? It was you, little alumni from that school. That's what used to kill me. Oh, he's talking bad about it. Yeah, nah, it's one of your alums that made the phone call that told him the 411 on your school. So yeah,
that has shed some light on this, right? With Scotty working for Alabama A&M during this time and being fully engaged in his responsibilities related to that. Has that contributed to the quietness of the space? Is it just Scotty not being on it, reporting it? Is that what created this kind of calm?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Season?
Well, listen. Here's the thing, and that's why I'm proud of that young man. Because see, what a lot of people didn't realize, what I knew, is he was able to amplify things, good, bad, or indifferent. But the way he was able to amplify it, because he was talented to amplify it. Because you could have somebody else say the same thing, and they only got 8 people watching them. And I saw it all the time. Scotty do a show, and then Person X do a show because he said it, and 3 people watching him, and he's got 500 watching him. So that's about his talent. So he allowed his talent to then transition to have a job at Alabama A&M. So again, I'm happy for it. So if there's something that needs to be said, I mean, we talk about stuff on Coach's Corner, that are difficult conversation. I know we have, and things like that. So again, it's all about the message and the messenger. So yes. And I think also too, which is funny to me, which I talked about on Sipping on Sunday. Now he ain't here. Now you ain't got no excuse, but you still saying stuff. You still talking bad about other schools. So now it's you now. Can't say it's him. Because what you say, he said something bad about me, we got to say something bad about them. He ain't here no more, and you still doing what you're doing. Better check yourself.
Now, you said Andrew Porter news would have been a big story this offseason. Let me say this. I think Andrew's story is a big story, but it's not the story everybody expected. You understand what I'm saying? And because it wasn't the story everybody expected, nobody's going to, in this space, this is just what I've come to understand, that y'all are quick to criticize each other. There's not a lot of praise of each other in this space when it says, Alabama State did what they were supposed to do. They stepped up and kept Andrew Biden.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You prove my point. No, That's a loud corner of the same 25, 30 people.
Absolutely.
And I can name all 25 I want to be messy of who they are. But the rest of the regular people were happy that Andrew came back. You know me, I was the first one that says he needs to come back. It's best for the SWAC. It's best for Alabama State and things like that. So I'm super excited. I'm excited that he came back.
Hey, we got a special guest tonight, a full bona fide SWAC legend, also a transcendent quarterback in his own right, none other than the Grambling State legend, Bruce Eugene. Hey, what's up, Bruce, man? It's always happy you're one of the family members here at HBCU Coaches Corner. I want to thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Oh, man, it's always love when I come on here, man. It's always love. What up, Mr. Campbell?
Man, listen, my guy, who I'm so proud of, and hey, man, listen, good luck just rubs off. See, you came on the show, all of a sudden you ain't where you at no more.
Got a new job. Got a new job.
Where's this job at?
I'm at Syracuse University now.
You got to be kidding me.
Nah, man. You see it? I'm at Syracuse University.
Hey, Bruce, first off, I want to say congratulations to you and earning this well-deserved opportunity as a tremendous player, first of all, because I'm going to be honest with you, Bruce. Until you win a national championship as a coach, you're going to be always known as a guy that threw 60 touchdowns in 1 year, threw for over, 5,000 yards as well? Like, that's what you're going to be known for. And so, but also, Coach, you into this coaching space, and you were somebody who was really transparent about looking for an opportunity to coach at the next level. You spoke it into existence, and I'm proud of you, bro. And I'm most of all, I want to congratulate you on you making that move and becoming a college coach.
I definitely appreciate it, man. Like, first of all, like I owe this to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I came on the show, you know what I'm saying, people started to pay attention. And the thing about it is, our head coach, Fran Brown, man, a huge thanks goes out to him. You know, we've been knowing, you know, I've been knowing him for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And he's easily one of the most respected coaches in this whole profession, you know, to go from a position coach straight to a head coach, you know what I'm saying, not even be a coordinator, just let you know how respected he is. And I'm not an on-the-field coach yet, you know what I'm saying? I was hired as a scout and everything else. So I've been working as scouting assistant. You know, I still help out, you know, with the offense. And, you know, I do get on the road. I've been recruiting New York City, and I've also been recruiting Louisiana. I've been down in Louisiana a few times, you know, recruiting guys and everything else. So I get to get on the road and get to use, I have to say just my relationships and things I've developed over the years and everything else. Now it's funny because I feel like the old man now because my teammates, kids, and people I went to school, kids are now, you know, in this position to be recruited. So those relationships stand strong, especially my black college relationships and, you know, my grandma relationships.
You mentioned, I believe you coached in the New York area before, in New York City before. Of course, you know Louisiana like the back of your hand. That's your native stomping ground. And then Georgia, and I think Coach Fran has some history in Georgia. Are those, as a scout, are those going to be three territories that you focus in, or are you picking up some other areas?
Well, with me, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, your lay of the land. And like I said, I did 16 years in New York, so you got me in New York City. Of course, having lived in Georgia, you know, and coached in Georgia, that's key. You know what I'm saying? So I got relationships there. And then being from Louisiana and played at Grambling and everything else, I got deep relationships there. So those are the areas that, you know, I've kind of been utilizing and attacking. So, and Syracuse hasn't really had a presence in the South. So it's been new just to, you know, be out there spreading the word about Syracuse and Coach Fran. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. I can't say enough about Coach Fran, man. When you meet him, he's one of those coaches that once you meet him, you're like, I got to play for this dude. Or I got to work with this dude and everything else because, you know what I'm saying, he was soft-spoken, but those words mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he's big on faith. That's the one thing when he and I had the conversation, I had to tell him this ain't nothing but faith. Because when I got the phone call, you know what I'm saying, you find yourself asking that question, why me, why now? You know what I'm saying? What have I done different this year that I didn't do last year? So you find yourself in those positions and things like that. And his words to me was simple faith. He was like, you know what I'm saying, you've been obedient and now, you know what I'm saying, this is your time to, you know what I'm saying, receive all the work you've been doing and everything else. And, you know, him giving me opportunity, I'm more than grateful. You know what I'm saying? And I always sit around and be like, man, I couldn't even get my own conference, my own, you know what I'm saying, my own league to get me opportunity. And here it is, you know what I'm saying? A guy I met, you know what I'm saying, just out here in this coaching profession. You know what I'm saying? It's the first one just to extend an olive branch. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful and everything like that. But, you know, just looking forward to the season to come and, you know, just taking it in.
Now, Bruce, let me ask you a question. I know the time tag, I'm kind of teasing a little bit. Now, you didn't just purposely miss Jack State over and got Ahmad Miller come up there in Syracuse just because you were Grambling guy. Was that a little bit of get back? You know, just to say, you know what, Coach Fred, I know about one I can get.
You know, it was crazy because when Ahmad came up, he and I connected off of the whole Jackson Grambling, you know, Jackson losing to Grambling. I'm constantly remind those blue and white Tigers that you lost to us yet again. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we were joking about that, and he just couldn't. He kept saying, "Oh, Coach, you ain't gonna let me. You know, you ain't gonna let me live this down." I said, "Not at all, not at all." So every day I see him, I constantly remind him that, "Hey, remember when you was a blue and white Tiger? Y'all lost to the real Tigers." You know what I'm saying? But Ahmad's been doing a great job, man. He's been doing a great job working hard, grinding, and stuff like that, man. Like
I don't think Ahmad got a victory against Grambling while he was down there.
It ain't too many Jackson State Tigers that got victories against Grambling. You know what I'm saying? It's okay now. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can talk about the Robert Kents and all that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too many of them now.
Well, Coach, let me ask you a question. How, with that camaraderie and things like that, have you been able to talk to them and say, hey, you know what? You're up here a long way from home. You can, you know, I can talk. I can help you out. You know what I mean? I want you to be great. Because I think for all of us, too, when we see our kids leave our universities, we want them to do well. Because it kind of, see, to me, it kind of works in reverse. It also shows that we know how to identify talent. And then the other talent said, you know what? Whatever your choice may be, if you come here, it's not where you're stopping. You're either going to go be great like Bruce Eugene all the way through, or there's other opportunities. You can get other opportunities because you're playing at a great program like Jackson State. You know what I mean? If you was playing at another program, might not have happened that all these other schools wanted him. So were you able to, you know, kind of talk to him and make him feel comfortable, you know, going up there Syracuse?
It was crazy. It was crazy because when he came, you know what I'm saying, we joked about the whole thing, but I didn't really get into it too much about, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like we had the conversation about, you know, at Syracuse, what we were looking for. We were looking for running backs, you know, and like I said, to be as talented as he was in the SWAC, you know, a lot of people look for that opportunity, especially now in this NIL stage. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for those opportunities to monetize, you know what I'm saying, your efforts and everything you've been doing. So, you know, when he came, we talked, you know, I spoke with, he was with his trainer and his mom. So, you know, we had small conversations, but it wasn't really much to, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, this, and this. You kind of fit what we want to do, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the final say-so person, but I'm just letting you know, hey, this is who we are at Syracuse and what we're looking to build and things like that. And, you know, he went home and he thought about it and, you know, all the other opportunities he had, and he just felt like Syracuse was the best place for him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, the way Coach Fran has it set up and the way he has it going, I'll be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, like I know, like Mr. Campbell, I know you're HBCU guy, but I guarantee you, if you to get up here and come and meet him, and you know what I'm saying, you too, Rock, if you to get up here and meet him, you know what I'm saying, who he is and what he stands for as a man, a black man, you know what I'm saying, out here in this day and age, and just being able to look at him every day and be like, man, this can be me one day. You know what I'm saying? That's a great leader, you know what I'm saying, that I look forward to following and learning from.
Yeah, hey, Bruce, like I said, man, I'm ecstatic for you. And I'm so happy that you got an opportunity, because one thing I was able to pick up from you while we were there in Atlanta, just sitting down and spending time with you, and even hanging out with you, is that you're a great guy. You're a great person. You got so much football intelligence. You know what I mean? And it was incredible just to see how you saw the game and how quick you processed the game in the moment. You know what I mean? And so, and the crazy thing, if you go back and look at how the SWAC championship, the Celebration Bowl, it literally unfolded the way you thought it would, and then it almost seemed like Chennis Berry did what you said he should do coming out the gate, and toward the end of the game. And so it was just funny to watch how to go back and watch that. I don't know if you went back and watched it when we did the show right there at the hotel, how much of the game, the way the game kind of played out was based on the things you said that night before the game.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was funny, because again, they got, you got the people who feel like they know it best and everything else and all that, and it's just like I tell you, we kind of benefit, like those who played the game, kind of see the game different, than the ones who haven't played the game, because again, you see it, and then we're not saying that you don't know it as much, but strategically, I got to come out, and I kept saying about that time of year, because you got 10, 11, 12, 13 games on them that you can watch and, kind of get, kind of get a glance of what they do best. So you got to be able to come out and give them something that they don't expect. And that's why I was saying is if I'm South Carolina State, they like to run the ball, like I need to come out passing it, and I need to come out, getting people involved. I need to come out with the QB, I want to throw it with them. All right, let's quarterback run them sometime. Let's give them something different. When the other quarterback came in, he's a runner. So now guess what? Let's come out throwing the ball with him, because now they expect me to do all the quarterback runs with him. So it was just little things like that where just different wrinkles and stuff, because again, we were the same way when I was at Grambling, everybody knew what we was going to do. So we always had a wrinkle up our sleeves, but you couldn't stop what we was doing. So
and in that interview, in that show, me and you, the only two people that thought Stubblefield could play a part in the outcome of the game. The other guys were insisted that Atkins would be the guy, and I just thought the game was set up for a guy with mobility like Stubblefield.
Atkins came out playing nervous. He was, to me, he played scared. He was uneasy. He let the rush get to him, and he was watching the rush too much instead of just playing his game. But then when Stubblefield came in, and see, it was perfect for Stubblefield because he's a Houston guy. So now, being a Houston guy, you guys looked over me. I didn't get the chance to go to Prairie View. So now I get my get back, and what better way and who better to do it against than the local hometown team? With top defense and everything else. And he came in and put on the show, man.
Yeah, he absolutely did, man. So let me ask you this: since you're in your new position, is there anything that has surprised you about being at the big time? Since you've been there?
Yeah, just a little bit. It's the attention to detail. It ain't really surprised me, but the attention to detail at the stage and the very minute thing can really, really kill a program. Like everybody has to move as one. From the cafeteria worker to the janitor to those people that you don't even think you need. Like everybody got to move as one around the facility just to make everything go. And then you got to have the perfect leader. And Coach Fran is pretty much the heartbeat of Syracuse. Like when we went to the basketball games with some of the junior days for the recruits, all the student section go crazy when he walks in. They get crazy, and everybody's Coach Fran. Everybody try to shake his hand, every beat of the campus, and that's the thing when you want a leader, somebody that, moves that way. And then, like I said, when you talk about having faith, everything about him is built on faith. When he tell you the story of himself and his life and everything else, if he didn't have faith, he wouldn't be where he is nowadays. And every morning he gets up, first thing in the morning, he sends a prayer to our coaches group chat, the players group chat, and then his family group chat. Because he lets you know that everything with me begins and ends with the man above. So that's the one thing about it is, man, when you got a guy of faith leading your program and stuff like that, you can't do nothing but win.
Let me ask you this last thing I'm going to ask you, Bruce. Do the players know who you are?
Some of them do, you know what I'm saying? But then others went to talking and stuff like that. So we just joke around. A lot of them can't believe I played quarterback. They'd be like, yo, quarterback? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it'd be funny. It's funny, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I just joke. You know, I joke around with them from time to time and let them know. Just like in basketball, all of them think they can outshoot me. So I told them, I said, yeah, you know, okay, whenever you're ready, you know, just. I asked them, I said, have you ever thrown a rock in the ocean? They was like, no. I said, that's the way I shoot. So,
Bruce, let me ask you this. You know, I want you to, and this is more of a local thing, but I think it's how important, because we talked to Coach Dawn Thornton about mentorship and things like that. Yeah. You were a high school coach, Locust Grove. Talk about how many kids that you were able to get HBCU scholarships. And you know, one I would definitely want you to talk about.
Well, it's crazy because I feel like a lot more of my kids should have gone to the HBCUs because, again, I'm not going to say I was pushing that way, but selfishly, you want them there, you know, if they don't get the big opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, monetize their thing, you want them at an HBCU so they can get the survival kit. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to push more of them that way, but, you know what I'm saying, like you said, the one and only ended up on the yard now. He a rattler, so you know what I'm saying. My QB, you know what I'm saying. He stood strong. You know, he wanted to go to FAMU from the day we went and took the visit, the day he met you and started to look into it and learn it. He wanted to go to it, and you know what I'm saying. I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying. I haven't really talked to him much because I'm trying to give him some time to learn and grow up and how to be a college kid. So when I talk to him, then we can have that long talk about how's it been going, how's the meetings, how's this and everything else. But you know what I'm saying, I've seen videos. Of course, you know, me and his dad talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of him that he's, you know, getting it done. I have my other kids, my linebacker, Zach Adams, he's at Georgia State. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy he's doing. My son, you know, he's at UNLV. So
okay.
They're already on campus. I have Andrew Turner's at Point University. So he's already on campus. So like I said, we got some guys already on campus in place, and then we have other guys that'll be starting this summer. So that Locust Grove team was a special team, you know what I'm saying? So you know, to see all those guys getting the opportunity to go to school and everything else, I'm proud of all of them, man. They always know I'm one phone call away.
Well, that's all. You know, I'm excited about my man. You know, when you got down there and talked to you, and I'm just glad that, you know, you and Coach Quinn Gray, because you know, it's a little bit. You can't hear. You can't hear. Oh, I don't know. You might have to come back in and come back out. Come back in and come back out. Let's see. So, yeah, you know what? I think Coach Cole had to go to bed and Rocky must have had to leave. So, if Coach Eugene comes in, because we're going to end it, but I am going to, again, I want to do one thing before we leave. Let's see if Coach Bruce Eugene comes back. If not, then we'll cut the stream. But I do want to honor a man that has passed away, an HBCU alum, Jesse Jackson. Again, I know everybody knows. Here we go. What about now, Coach?
I got you now.
There you go. So, yeah, I was just, you know, just saying excited about Amon, you know, and I think that was a big thing. Like we've been texting, and again, he got down there between the transition, you know what I mean? And you know how that goes. But luckily, you know, again, Coach Quinn Gray had a lot of faith in you and believed in, you know, what you said about your, you know, belief in Amon. So I think he's going to be outstanding because, matter of fact, I think he's the only FAMU freshman that's down there enrolled. I think everybody else is not coming until after they graduate high school.
And
so
that was big for him, and I was pushing for that because I wanted him to get there this spring, just to get acclimated. You know what I'm saying? Just to get around the guys. You know what I'm saying? We all know when you're trying to get an opportunity to play as a freshman, you know that getting there in that spring semester to get acclimated, lifting with the guys, getting stronger, getting that opportunity to play in the spring game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that is key. And I think as of right now, it's only 2 quarterbacks that's there. Him and I think the kid from Alabama State, the ones who transferred from Alabama State.
Right.
I think they're the only 2 there right now. I'm not sure, but like I told you, if it is, then guess what? That puts you in a great position to have opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get a jump before everybody else get there. So, you know what I'm saying? Me knowing him, I know he's going to work. He's going to grind. You know what I'm saying? That'll never change for him. The location, the places may change, but his work ethic and who he is as a young man never change. So I'm not worried.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. Well, Coach, listen, I'm not going to hold you long. What we're going to do before, we're going to have a whole show. We're going to have to bring like the Super Friends or get all the black quarterbacks on and let you guys talk and chop it up before the season comes on, man, because I'm super excited, man. Glad that you're at, Coach Fran Brown understands this. And I will say this. He's another person that goes viral a lot because he is a tremendous motivator. Sometimes I just watch Coach Brown, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is.
Things that he says, even at the darkest of the dawn, he still makes you feel good, And I think that is just tremendous. So,
he has that way about him. He has. Let me tell you something. That's why I want you to meet him because I'm telling you, if you meet him, like he's a dope individual.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. I got a good friend that played for the Knicks. I'm definitely gonna, because we've been talking. I'm coming up there for when the playoffs start. Get you a coach come down there. I'll get y'all some tickets, Knicks, and then I can introduce you to a great Syracuse alum, John Wallace. That's my guy.
Oh, absolutely.
We can chop that Syracuse thing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, and I'll get you to meet Coach Frank, because I'm telling you, he's a great guy to know, man. It's just something about him, you know what I'm saying, that his aura that makes people want to, you know what I'm saying, play for him and follow him. And, you know what I'm saying, like he's and he's a great leader. Like he's not one of those that just rah, 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 you know what I'm saying, that just like everybody feels a part of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing he does that's great and everything else. And that's why he's going to win. And that's why us as coaches and, you know what I'm saying, staffers, you know what I'm saying, want to go hard for him to make sure he excels because of the way he treats everybody in the building, not just like everybody around the whole campus.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to set this thing up. I'm going to be talking to you. Definitely get me and Armand on the phone. And then, Coach, like I said, man, I'm just happy to be a part, to see your success. Because, once again, the bigger thing is, it's not about that they know you're not. It's about that you had the ability because you were a G-man and you can go anywhere because you was a G-man. So it don't matter, Coach. Don't matter.
I survived anyway. You know that. That's the one thing everybody HBCU got.
That's it. And that's the bigger thing is they ain't got to know who you are. We let you, once we get there, you know who we are. And that's what I'm so proud about it is. So I know you're going to represent, like I say, for yourself, your family, and for, the Grambling Tigers. And again, man, listen, but Coach, you got to do me one favor now. Don't be coming around here stealing all our guys now. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Or I will say this. Now, you out there on the recruiting trail and you see a kid that, opportunity to send them down to the SWAC. Tell them we take good care of them.
Send them to the SWAC?
Send them to the SWAC.
Okay, if they don't come to Syracuse, we go to the SWAC.
Yeah, come to the SWAC. I didn't say what school. Just come on to the SWAC. Come to the SWAC.
Man, absolutely, man. Our spring game, April 11th, 7:30.
Hey, listen, we're going to check in with you right after that.
Man, absolutely, man. Like I said, we got some special stuff, man. It's we all right. We working.
There you go, folks. D. Bruce Eugene, SWAC legend, now coach at Syracuse University.
All right, my guy. Good night, Mr. Camp.
Good night. All right, guys. That was another great HBCU Coaches Corner. We had my homegirl, Dawn Thornton. But I do not want to get off without talking about an HBCU alumnus, North Carolina A&T, an actual athlete, quarterback in North Carolina A&T, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away, who was a person that was mentored by Martin Luther King, who was a person, as they say, fought the fight before the fight even started, who went and rescued hostages, who talked to presidents, who talked to dictators, who talked to the common man and told people, I am somebody. I want to play, as we leave, his speech at the Democratic National Convention, because I know all you've heard the I am somebody speech, but I think this speech that I'm getting ready to play really talks about what Jesse Jackson believed in and what we all should strive to be. So let me play that right now. And I appreciate you all joining us for HBCU Coaches Corner.
Every one of these funny labels they put on you, those of you who are watching this broadcast tonight in the projects, on the corners, I understand. Call you outcast, low down, you can't make it, you're nothing, you're from nobody, subclass, underclass. When you see Jesse Jackson, when my name goes in nomination, your name goes in nomination. I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. And it wasn't born in you, and you can make it. Wherever you are tonight, you can make it. Hold your head high. Stick your chest out. You can make it. It gets dark sometimes, but the morning comes. Don't you surrender. Suffering breeds character. Character breeds faith. In the end, faith will not disappoint. You must not surrender. You may or may not get there, but just know that you're qualified and you hold on and hold out. We must never surrender. America will get better and better. Keep hope alive.
Never surrender. Never surrender. That's all I ask all of you all to do in these times. Don't surrender. It's Mr. Campbell, HBCU Coaches Corner. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We'll have somebody great on. See you guys on Sunday. Me and Zoe sipping on Sundays. Appreciate you all watching it. And, man, like I say, man, be good to each other, man. And remember, we're all in this thing together. Have a good night.